What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Tuesday, March 12th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay, let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Chris Dunn from the Chicago Bulls playing the LA Lakers, who have the 4th best defense overall, and they give up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing point guards. Chris Dunn has scored 17, 26, and 22 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 28.1 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 31 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. Chris Dunn is $5,200 DraftKings salary. He's $700 more on FanDuel, projected at 29.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.7 times value. There's an implied total of 226 points in this game. Zach LaVine has been ruled out, which is going to open up more minutes and more usage for Chris Dunn. His price is low because of his poor performance in the last 3 or 4 games. This is a fast-paced game, a home game, and a fantastic matchup, so I love Chris Dunn here versus the LA Lakers. Remember, we added projected ownership, and that will be updating throughout the day as injury news changes. We also added the fantasy points per minute stat here for each player, and we also added a stat that's new to the industry. We call it the hit percentage, and it's the percent chance this player has to hit value at his current DFS salary. And you can access all these new stats even on mobile devices by tapping the dash rank icon. Okay, who do we have at the shooting guard position? I like Tim Hardaway Jr. from the Dallas Mavericks playing the San Antonio Spurs, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they give up the 6th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Tim Hardaway Jr. has scored 16, 24, and 26 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 28.7 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 32 minutes per game with a 26% usage rate. Tim Hardaway Jr. is $4,900 DraftKings salary. He's $600 more on FanDuel, projected at 27.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.5 times value. Luka Doncic is questionable for this game. He was hobbling around at the end of last game, so it wouldn't surprise me if they let this guy rest. That would open the door for a lot more Tim Hardaway. This is a home game, a fast-paced game, and a great matchup, so I love Tim Hardaway Jr. here versus the San Antonio Spurs. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the position optimizer where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new player trends tool where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, who do we have at the small forward position? I like Otto Porter from the Chicago Bulls playing the LA Lakers, who have the 4th worst defense overall, and they give up the 10th most fantasy points to opposing small forwards. Otto Porter has scored 30, 44, and 37 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 29.1 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 30 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. Otto Porter is $6,400 DraftKings salary. He's $1,100 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 29.5 fantasy points here tonight. He's going to need about 33 fantasy points to hit 5 times value. There's an implied total of 226 points in this game. Remember, no Zach LaVine. That's going to mean more minutes and more usage for the other stars on the team. I like this price for Otto Porter. This is a home game, a fast-paced game, and a fantastic matchup against an LA Lakers team in shambles. So I love Otto Porter here versus the LA Lakers. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like Moritz Wagner from the LA Lakers playing the Chicago Bulls, who have the 8th worst defense overall, and they give up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Moritz Wagner has scored 35 fantasy points in 34 minutes last game and 21 fantasy points in 26 minutes in the game before that. The Lakers have dismantled their team, and now Moritz Wagner is getting plenty of minutes. He's got a 23% usage rate, so he's getting the ball, he's a productive player, and Moritz Wagner is only $3,300 DraftKings salary. He's $1,700 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 27.5 fantasy points here tonight, that's 8.3 times value. That projection may be a little high for a guy who we don't know too much about. It's just a 2-game sample, but if he puts up similar numbers, he's going to come out right around there or more in 30 minutes. There's an implied total of 226 points in this game. It's a great matchup, so I love Moritz Wagner here versus the Chicago Bulls. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Joel Embiid from the Philadelphia 76ers playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have the 10th worst defense overall and have been the 5th best team defending opposing centers. Joel Embiid scored 53 fantasy points in his last game returning from injury, averaging 54.6 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 34 minutes per game with a 33% usage rate. He had a 45% usage rate last game, so they're feeding him the ball. Jimmy Butler has been ruled out, so it's going to be even more minutes and usage for Joel Embiid. So Joel Embiid gets a bump with Jimmy Butler out. Joel Embiid is $10,200 DraftKings salary. He's $100 more on FanDuel, so I love that price on both sites. Projected at 54.6 fantasy points here tonight, that's 5.4 times value. There's an implied total of 222.5 points in this game. If Cleveland can keep this game close, Joel Embiid could go off for 60, 70, who knows? He could have a ceiling game here versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I love Joel Embiid here versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.